Hey man, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Sarge on the I-10 Podcast Show. Hey man, so I'm trying to change it around a little bit. I can't do too fast of music. Can't be too fast. But let me know, man, if you like that new intro song that we got. Give me a 1 in the chat if it's hot. Give me a 2 if it ain't. Just let me know right now. But hey man, we got a great show today on Sunday. I have a great guest. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be a great time. I promise you that. So do me a favor right now. Share, like, comment. Let everybody know that we're on YouTube, Sarge Life and Motorcycling, on the Facebook page, Iron Elite, home of the motorcycling elite. So hey man, let's get it ready. Let's get your water, let's get your coffee, and let's go. I know. Sarge, is motorcycling the only thing you talk about? Is motorcycling the only thing you care about? Nope. I care about the Jacksonville Jaguars too. Hey man, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Iron Elite Podcast Show. Hey man, we have a special guest on today. We have a post-interview I-10 to the end. I know, man, we've been getting it in over the last couple of weeks, man. I think it's been day after day after day. So we're getting miles after miles after miles, man. Hey, if you guys could do me a favor, let's make sure we put our hands together. Let's support, let's pray for Red Breed, man. I have the Red Breed Tampa edition that are heading across the I-10 as we speak. Those guys just took off this morning. And I'm just going to tell you guys this. Hey, man, that panhandle don't play. It starts this time of year, and it ain't coming off you into October. Man, those guys are going through some bad rain, some bad weather conditions. So let's keep them in your prayers. Let's keep cheering them on, man. And Fresca Boy, you and the boys, man, y'all keep the rubber side down, you dig, man. So with that being said, man, I'm going to bring her on to see if I can find her out there. So, hey, with that being said, fam, where you at? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning. So she on the left coast still, am I correct?
I am. I'm still out here.
Hey, that's what's happening. For everybody out there that don't know you, I don't think it's no more than about 2 people. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your family?
Well, for those of you who don't know, it's Lil Mama.
That's
Everybody
what's
sees
up. And she ain't playing no games.
I just got finished doing Down to Pounds event over the weekend. It was an amazing event. I'm staying out here for a little bit. I'll be out on ground for about 5 weeks. So working remote. So you got to make that money to do what we do. So don't think I'm out here just out here doing it. I'm not retired.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just out here enjoying it and catching up with a bunch of folks.
Hey, that's what's up. So Lil Mama, she just finished up a few days ago, man. She made that thing look way too easy. So I always say this, when they make it look easy, man, they prepare properly. Is that correct?
Well, absolutely. It's never easy. It's never always
never easy. But you can do the things that mitigates risk when we're out here making these cross-country rides. So with that being said, first and foremost, good morning to you, because I know it's afternoon for us. So y'all need to get with it on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So everything has been good since you've been out there. I've seen they've been giving you all that hospitality. I've been seeing it all on social media. You're getting on my nerves.
Man.
You're breaking bread with everybody. You're having fun. You're doing your thing. What's happening? What's good?
Yeah, it's nothing but love. I mean, I love it out here. I've always been out here, and every time I come out here, they always give me nothing but love. So it's always amazing when I get back out here and catch up with everybody. It's like a family reunion again. So,
well, I'm gonna say this, Lamar. I'm gonna say these my words, not yours. The West Coast is the best coast. I don't care. I said it and I ain't taking it back. Every time I go out there, man, they treat me very well. The wife have said before, wow, they treat you like a superstar out here. I said, don't say nothing. They don't know no better. But I love them out there. They treat us well. But anyway, I tell you what. So we're gonna talk about this I-10 to the end ride, but I think I'm gonna do it a little bit different on your side. I just wanna we're gonna freelance on this if you don't mind. Is that cool?
That's cool with me.
Okay, so we're gonna freelance. So she went out there in the 2017 Road Glide Special. Nice bike, slammed to the ground. I don't understand that one, but it's slammed, and
I
we'll talk
can't
about
reach
it.
it. I have no choice.
Yeah, because I think she 411 on a good day. Am I correct?
I'm 4'11" on a good day.
But she can handle that motorcycle. So I'm just saying that. And also for everybody, before we really get going, for everybody, we're only going to be on Facebook Live for maybe about 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm going to kill the stream. But don't worry, we're going to be on YouTube Live. And the YouTube page address is on the ticker at the bottom, so there's no problem. It's Sarge Life and Motorcycling. So in about 15, 20 minutes time frame, I'll let you guys know for everybody to open up another tab, get on to YouTube. I think it's a little bit better quality when we're on YouTube, so we'll go over there and then we'll continue the interview. So, Lil Mama, because all these days running together for me now. What day did you pull out of Jacksonville?
Saturday morning at 6 a.m.
So it was last Saturday morning at 6 a.m. Okay. So we kind of got it together. As a matter of fact, let's take it from this, if you don't mind. How do you prepare yourself to get ready to make a ride and to be gone as long as you are going to be going this trip? What is your preparation phase on this?
So it was a little bit longer preparation for me because I was in Jacksonville, Florida the week before for Jen's ride. So I got into her ride. So me preparing for that ride, then getting back on Sunday, and then coming back to Jacksonville Friday, bedding down, and then to get up to be at the ocean and do get my sand and stuff prior to meeting you.
Right, right.
Um, Packing is and making sure the maintenance of the bike. I don't use synthetic oil in my bike, so I do every 2,500 miles. So I have learned how to drop my own oil.
Smart,
uh,
smart.
my son does it, or I stick it in, stop at Harley, either one. But it's just easier just to learn to drop it real quick to keep it moving. So I've actually dropped it on my own when I got out to the West Coast this time. Normally, somebody wants to try to help me, and a lot of people help and reach out, or I'll just stick it into Harley real quick and let them do it. But I wanted to be able to do it because as I've been doing it over the years, me and Diesel used to stop at AutoZone and we'd drop it in AutoZone lot, and then keep it moving because of the amount of miles.
Because
Um,
AutoZone also allow you, they'll take old oil, won't they? Free
they
of charge,
will,
am I correct? Yeah,
they will.
good stuff.
So that's kind of how we've been doing the maintenance. Maintenance is big to me on the bike. That bike, the Harleys are a lot more maintenance than what my Yamaha used to be. So I'm really up on the maintenance on the Harley a lot more. It does cause a lot of more work than the Yamaha does, but and it is a bigger bike, so a lot more maintenance. But maintenance is big for me. Mentally, physically, and emotionally, you have to be ready for these rides.
Right.
People forget all that. It's not just maintenance of the bike, it's mentally preparing yourself, financially. Let's talk about that. I knew I was doing this ride months ago. I knew how I planned it out.
Right.
Um, so there's a lot of different preparations for it. Packing, Lord, let's talk about that packing and laundry.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm doing laundry tomorrow, so
Right, right.
so it's a lot. It's not a little bit. It's you have to be ready in a lot of different aspects, and people don't understand when I'm like, I ain't got time to do this, I ain't got time to do that. You got to prepare in so many different areas to do what we're doing. Even if you're just doing one cross country and then coming back for a week, But to be out here for 5 weeks, you got to know where your money is, how much it's going to cost you, where you're staying, because I'm not staying with people all the whole time. I'm in a hotel now,
Oh, for
I
sure. Mm-hmm.
and but I do stay with some people, certain places, and
Mm-hmm.
certain events or whatever. And then on top of that, you still got gas, food, and everything else.
Yeah, it's interesting. I tell you what, I'm gonna take what you said. I'm gonna hit it piece by piece if you don't mind.
Mhm.
The first thing you said I change my oil. I drop my oil every 2,500 miles. Do you use? And I notice you use conventional oil, and I do too for a lot. Um, for your oil, do you use oil additive like a Lucas, or you just use regular conventional oil and you're good just every 2,500 miles?
Well, I use only the regular oil, no additive at all when
Mm-hmm.
I'm just doing a quick 2,500.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put the Harley oil, like if I'm like doing 1,000 miles or 500 miles or something like that, I'll run the Harley and put that Harley oil in it. But if
Okay.
I'm just out here on the road like I am this time, that 2,500 is going in a week. That
Mm-hmm.
2,500 is going
Real fast.
in real fast. So I'm running the AutoZone, Advance, wherever, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing that Valvoline VR1.
Okay.
So, and I'll stick that in it, and then I'm literally dropping it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I leave here, I'll go to AZ and
Mm-hmm.
I'll get Harley oil and
Mm-hmm.
I'll put that in it. Although I know I'm going to be back on that side, I'll run the Harley oil and then I'll drop it again. I'll put a Harley oil again. So I kind of like switch it up a little bit.
I'm curious. Okay. And I got a theory on this.
Hmm.
Some people I've talked to some people about it. Okay, so you went across Texas in April, so the weather wasn't extremely hot. It
It
was
was.
cold in the mornings, maybe cool at nights. Mild in the daytime. With that 2017, because I think 2017 was the first year of the Milwaukee 8. I think it was Milwaukee 8 was 2017 starting. Do you burn more
Oh,
oil going across the state of Texas, or burn more oil going on a long distance ride? What do you
I
find?
think I think I did. I think I did. I think I seen the difference of it when I
Mm-hmm.
came across. It was a little hot coming across Texas. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't too hot. I mean, but it started. I could tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I did burn more oil coming across there in the Harley. The Harley is different than the Yamaha, so I'm learning that bike, and me being, I like to know my bike. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of, I don't know if women are like that or not, but I know when at Yamaha I can take part. I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you that Yamaha from piece to piece, but I've got over 100 and some thousand miles on that, and I put those on there. Now the Harley, I've got 40,000 on that, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
learning it. Now I'm no longer so scared to take this apart, or you know what I'm saying, or
Right.
do this to it, or whatever. So I'm learning that one piece by piece now as well. So I did notice the difference. I did put a little oil in it because it
Mm-hmm.
did burn some oil. And I'm checking the oil a little bit more often
Mm-hmm.
now. So I was worried about that clutch because that I got that hydraulic clutch on there.
Mm-hmm.
Now I did get stuck the week before in Miami on the highway on that hydraulic clutch, which that
Mm-hmm.
really worried me.
Well, was
This
it because it was running hot? Because it was hot.
Yeah, it ran hot
Mm-hmm.
and I had
Mm-hmm.
no clutch. I literally had no clutch.
Mm-hmm.
I got stuck on my down in Miami doing that iron butt for Jen's ride,
Mm-hmm.
and literally my clutch was gone. I
Mm-hmm.
had to pull over. I couldn't do shit. I couldn't do nothing. Sorry, couldn't do nothing.
No, you good. You good. This grown folks. This grown folks. Hey, but it did make me, because I've noticed that with my riders, we've had. Oh no, by the way, let me do this. I forgot this. Rider number 224. Let's do this. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. But I have noticed during like the summer months, guys and girls are reporting more as they were going across Texas, and it was really hot in New Mexico and Arizona, that some were burning up to a quart of oil.
Mm-hmm.
So I've noticed that. So, and I'm just saying that for the viewers out there. Those are things you need to be conscious of. Checking your oil every day. Not only that, but make sure you got oil on your bike.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
have more oil on your bike. Don't play games with it. Don't play games. The best case scenario, you don't need it. The worst case scenario is you need it and you ain't got it.
that part.
Am I correct? Okay.
Absolutely. I'd rather have it than not need it.
For sure. So on the maintenance side, we know you maintenance it a lot because obviously now you're dropping oil every 2,500 and then you refreshing that oil. So you're doing your thing. So I'm assuming your motor runs pretty dang good.
It does. That motherfucker's hot though. It's hot. It's hot.
Oh, it's gonna get hot on you. So on the packing side, it's interesting, and I'm doing more of this lately because men and women pack differently.
Mm-hmm.
There's more things going on. I've noticed, especially with the ones who've been coming across doing the I-10 to the end, that were going to the all-female ride. Where they
Yes.
had the extra little costumes and items that you guys needed for that particular event. So, and not to mention that it ain't hot yet. We think it's hot for a day, but it still could get pretty cold coming across the country. So, with that being said, how did you pack for this trip?
So all 4 seasons. Every time I come across cross country, I do all 4 seasons regardless. So I have my heated gear. I have of course my rain gear. I have you see what I have on now. It's the cooling shirts.
Right, right.
And I have the other ones that's for the winter, the thicker ones.
Okay.
And I don't know what they're called, but they're the thick ones, and they're the winter ones. So I have those as well. Now I have those. I have a couple like evening outfits that make me look at least decent. If I want to go to dinner or something. I have a couple of those outfits, and then mostly jeans. To be honest with you, I have a pair of slide-ins and a pair of gym shoes to switch out those boots. But that's it. You know, that's it.
So okay, let's stay on packing because I'm gonna do something on this soon. I notice. I'm gonna say this. I noticed some of my ground pounders, they carry the big Harley bag, the big Harley suitcase, and they drop it in the back on the back seat. Kind of buckled into the tour pack. I see some pack clothes and gear in their saddlebags. How do you do it? Do you carry a big suitcase and you strap it on the bike, or you put your stuff in the saddlebag or the tour bag?
So I love my bag. The bag I have, and I had this on the Yamaha. It's the best bag I ever got, and it's the one with it's a rolling bag. It has rollers on it. It's a Harley bag, and it has the little pull top. So basically, I strap that on my back seat. Now I have that one. That's where that packs more than the tour pack, and I got the
Right.
King tour pack. I do have the bag that goes in the back of the tour pack as well. That's basically where all my dirty clothes is at, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But on a normal day, that's where all my dirty clothes is going. And then, on a normal day, I'll take those out if I'm stationary, and I put my helmet back there. Otherwise, I just bring my helmet in and out. But my bag, it actually holds everything, and it actually has a little handle. I just strap it on my back seat, and there you go. My saddle bags, one is full of tools, and my little chair. One I don't even get into unless I'm at the park, get my
That's where
bag.
I'm heading at. That's where I'm
Yeah,
heading at on that.
that
Okay.
one saddle bag is full of tools, that little chair, all that stuff. I don't even touch it unless I'm getting something out of that regarding the bike stuff. The other one is my rain gear. It's my where my wallet is. You know what I'm saying? That's at one side. My maybe a water, stuff like that. So my saddlebags are full regardless, and they're not nothing that I'm really putting in there that I'm packing as wise, except for my rain gear. I can't really.
As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna do a survey on that. I'm gonna do a question on that, and just get suggestions on do people prefer to pack clothes or gear on the bike, or they prefer to have it in the suitcase or riding, you know,
Yeah.
pack. And I'm seeing both sides. Mostly with the riding pack, the Harley suitcase. And I'm just kind of interested because some people, they like to, hey man, I got everything in the suitcase. When I shut down for the night, just take my suitcase off the bike, leave everything else, and I'm in the hotel room, and vice versa, getting back on the bike and riding. And or some uses the saddlebag cases, that fit right into the saddlebag. I have those also.
I
But
have
so you use those as well,
I
but you put
have
them
them,
with tools
but I
and
don't never take them out.
you don't.
They're
Yeah,
they're there.
okay, makes sense. Yeah, you just keep every your. I get you. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So, so obviously now we've covered some bike maintenance. We know what we have to do. We talked about some packing. Let's talk about, because you did mention mental. Well, let's do mental and physical. So, getting ready for a ride of this magnitude, and me and you both know there's going to be time, a lot of sleep you're going to miss out on. Probably eating ain't going to be the best because you're going to be trying to get miles in and those type of things. So, how do you do, say, take me, if we're taking off on a Saturday and we're looking at Monday, what's your preparation as far as health and rest? What do you do to get ready for it?
Well, I'm not a big sleeper. I can't sleep much. So, some people require a lot more sleep than I do. I normally require about 5 or 6 hours of sleep, and that's kind of where I go. If I get more than that, it's like, ooh, I'm good. I'm really good. And sometimes I'm too much sleep. So, I just try to basically before that Monday, before if I'm taking off Saturday, I just try to rest up. I actually worked 2 jobs that week before, so I wasn't worried about Monday through Wednesday. Thursday is where I was more concerned with. I started preparing myself on Thursday and Friday and making sure that I got good rest those 2 days.
Okay.
Um, and as long as I got good rest those 2 days, I knew where I was going to be on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. I
So,
hear some I hear some people also say, "Hey man, the week of the ride, when I know I'm getting ready to go do, 5K, 6K, 7K, I stop doing anything. I don't even get on the bike. They say I just kind of sit and kind of, I do the little small things I have to do, but I'm really zoning in mentally. I'm
yeah,
taking that ride mentally before I even take that ride physically. Is that something that you do also?
yeah, I get still get excited about the rides. I don't know if everybody else is. I don't know what it is. As long as I've been doing it, I still get excited. So that excitement still makes me not able to sleep sometimes. Like, did I do this or am I prepared to do this? You still get excited, like, ooh, I'm ready to do this. I'm excited to see this person, or
Right.
so yeah, I'm like you're saying, like, like, yeah, like I'm not going to get out there and just do something locally or anything like that. I'm preparing mentally, like, did I do this? Did I do that? All right, I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna relax a little bit. I know I'm about to be out here for a while, just kind of do some relaxing and downtime. So, mentally, I know that I'm about to do this run and it's going to be 1,000 miles at least, that or 1,100 that first day. So, I know that I may run into rain. I'm watching the weather. I'm watching, different apps. Me and my apps, I got 1,000 of them. So I'm watching a different, by that time of the week, I'm watching 100 different things and looking at routes and looking at, traffic and construction. That's how I knew to tell you, I'm talking to my pit crew, as everybody calls them, your pit crew. I'm talking to everybody like, what's going on? Y'all see anything? I'm preparing everybody that I'm about to see or I'm about to hit the road with. So that's what I do. Mentally, I'm preparing myself. I'm preparing everybody else that I'm about to get out there on. Like, hey, this is what we're about to do. So it's a team
Awesome.
effort to me.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna talk on that a little bit more. Let's hold our thought real quick. So everybody that's on Facebook, we're gonna go ahead and kill that stream now. Facebook, the Iron Elite page. Come on, move on over to YouTube. And oh, by the way, when you move over to YouTube, come over with a like, come over with a comment. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, could you please reach up and hit the subscription button for us if you don't mind? So we're gonna go ahead and kill Facebook right now. So we're going to be down 3, 2, 1, and we're gone by Facebook. Okay, so we got our pit crew mentally ready. We're mentally ready. We're getting in the zone. Since we're talking about mentally ready, you ready? We're in the trust tree today. We're in the trust tree. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we ain't gonna tell no lies.
There you go.
Do you get nervous, like scared nervous, say 24 to 48 hours? And I don't mean like scared, like I don't want to ride, but do you just get the jitters to say, okay, I gotta be ready to go? That road can be fierce out there. I gotta get it ready to go. Do you ever feel kind of nervous like that? Yeah.
There's times that I get nervous. It just, there's moments that it happens. And when I get those feelings, it's one of those like, what's going on? When you got a gut feeling, you got a gut feeling for a reason.
Yeah.
And I always say things happen for a reason. So I get delayed for reasons. When I got stuck in traffic, I don't get frustrated no more. When I get stuck in traffic, I don't try to force time. When something don't go my way on the road, I don't force it. I've learned that over the years. There's a reason I'm getting held back. And 9 times out of 10, this is what I'll see. When I've got, delayed or something, further up, I'll see an accident or I'll see something. And I'll be like, that's probably why God held me back. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I'll be like, thank God, I'm held back. This is what happened. You know what I'm saying? Or there's a reason. And sometimes I never see a reason. I'll be like, well, it don't matter. There was a reason I was held back. Yeah. So I don't, there is sometimes that nervousness there. And most of the time when I do feel that nervousness, I say a prayer, because if it's my time, it's my time. I ain't going to go a day, a minute early than when the God above tell me it's that time. So
facts. So recapping for those who are following us now. So we know she ain't playing with her maintenance. She does some of her own basic maintenance. Good for her. She's very familiar with her bike. And we'll say, when I say familiar with bike, I'm saying character or characteristics of your bike. Are there certain things about your bike you notice? Do you feel certain things? Okay, this ain't right. This don't feel right. Or I'm checking this. That kind of don't sound right. Are you one of those kind of people as well?
Yeah, I turn that music down because I want to hear something sometimes.
Please turn that music down. Yeah.
I learned that with a couple other bikes I've had. You'll ride on that bike and you'll listen to that music all the time, but you won't turn that music down because you steady listening to it and won't hear that noise or whatever. Feel it when you grab that clutch, or when I felt that clutch going acting funny, I'm like, something ain't right. When you touch them brakes or whatever, you can feel it. So yeah, I keep an eye on that. You only got 2 wheels now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got 4. There's not 4 to this one. So
ain't too much room for mistakes when it comes to those wheels.
So I keep an eye on it. I feel it. If you start feeling something funny, I start questioning it. Like, and then you want to see, is it going to keep doing it? Or, 9 times out of 10, I pick up the phone or I'll text somebody and call them like, is this normal? I want to make sure first off, it's not in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it the road? Is it something, is it just the road that I'm feeling that on? Because sometimes you'll feel something on the road because you ride and the road's just funny, it's grooved, or you're into something on the road and it's making it feel that way, or you're in the area or a car or something beside you is making you hear something. I'm like, what am I hearing? What is this? You know what I'm saying? So,
and I tell you, more times than not on the bike, if it feels funny, sounds funny, smells funny, it's funny. It's funny. Don't say, oh, that's procured. It ain't nothing. No, it's something.
Yeah.
Now, how big of something it is debatable, but it is something. And I do suggest for all of us who got all our, shout out to my man T-Funk. I know they putting some sound systems on those bikes and they do their thing, but those sound systems are for parking lot pimping. And for the gas station pull up, man. When you're on the road, man, take the time, turn the music down from time to time, and listen to the hum of that motor. Just take everything that's going on with that bike. The bike will tell you. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
It's fair. So we talked about that. We talked about our packing. We talked about our nervous energy. Let's talk a little bit more about our pit crew, because I love the way you say it. You mentally prepared the folks that in your crew, and I call them a pit crew. You call them a pit crew too?
Nah, I just call my family. They know.
Okay, so fam, pit crew, but we're talking about the same thing.
Yep,
And we're
same thing.
talking about those folks that we can trust in our circle, that we know they're going to be a pain in the butt while we're on the road. They're going to be checking in when we're going too slow. They're going to check in if we ain't moved. They're going to check in if we ain't checked in. They're going to be all in our ear, all in getting on our nerves. But those are the people who care the most about us. They're our lifesavers. Is that true?
Absolutely.
So our pit crew, you say you start mentally saying, hey, your girl getting ready to ride. We're getting ready to do our thing. What are some of the things that you have or you assign to your, and we're going to say affectionately assigned to you, because we know we ain't order nobody around. But what are some of the things that you ask or request or even get from your family?
So I have one that he's a storm chaser. So so he watches me for as far as my storms and any storms, anything. Matter of fact, years ago I was going through a tornado and my phone was blowing up, and I just knew I was trying to get through this stuff. Whatever that storm was, I seen stuff going all over the place, and I had another lady with me. And I tell you what, I was like, just stop calling me, leave me alone. I'm trying to get through this stuff. Like, and they was just blowing my phone up. But yeah, that's one of the things. And I finally answered the phone, like, what you want? He said, if you don't get off that highway, there's a tornado going across the damn highway in front of you.
For sure.
So I got off. But yeah, so I got one of the guys, he's my weather guy. So he knows to keep an eye on. I just let him know, hey, this is where I'm headed. Sometimes I don't tell him where I'm headed. He just knows. He'll watch out. He's like, she's going in this direction. Okay. Then I got another guy, and he'll watch me, and he's the one that tells me about the construction. Okay. He's the one that told me about where I-10 was going to be shut down for the weekend, closures and stuff.
Yeah, that's when you told me.
I told you.
Yeah, that's right.
So then of course I have some of those that gonna pray for me constantly.
The prayer warriors. Shout out to the prayer warriors. We need those.
Yeah. Shout out to them, because they be like, oh. Then I got those other ones gonna be like, if you don't sit down somewhere, if you don't sit down, lay down. You've been on road too long, and are you sure you gonna keep? How you feeling?
Yeah.
Those
are the big brothers and big sisters.
Well, right. You got them ones. Listen to your body. All right, I am. Then you got the ones that lecture to you, like, you sure you're gonna go all the way through? I'm good now.
Right.
So I got a list of them, and and then I got those motivators, like, go ahead, Lil Mama, you got this. You know what I'm saying? So you have a list of those individuals, and they all play a certain part, and they play an important part. And they may not understand how important they are at times, but every one of them play an important part in my life, or they would not be there, or they would not be part of my part.
For sure. And I'm having you describe this to our viewers, because especially for the ones who are new at cross-country riding, everything that she named is a recipe for success. Those pit crews are super, super valuable. Like she said, weather, voice of good reasoning, your mechanic, your worry wart, your prayer warrior, your lodging specialist, all those particular folks in your family or pit crew or whatever you want to call them, those things are very important when you're making a long distance ride. And I'm telling you now, if you don't have them, get them, because that's leverage. That's leverage. Don't give away leverage, or don't try to do it on your own, because it becomes really tough to do those type of things. Is that fair? Is that a fair comment?
Absolutely. I even got a couple of them. They'll grab my hotels for me. I'm like, where you at? You need to lay down. And I'm tired. And I'll be like, okay, I'm getting tired. Find me a hotel about 100 miles out or whatever. So they all have their part. You're absolutely right. And everybody needs them. You need
Yeah.
them when you're out there doing what we're doing.
I see you winning. You got to
Mm.
tell you winning for real. So also, I tell you what, and for everybody out there, I know I'm spinning this a little different. Little Mama done her thing. She do her thing all the time. So I can't say day one, what did you do? Nah, we're gonna be a little bit different than that. We're gonna talk about everything, and we're gonna talk about our riding psychology. We're gonna talk about the physical, the literal side of riding. But we're gonna kind of spin it in a different way if most folks are following the scheme of what's going on today, because I want to get in the head of a person that I consider as a very seasoned, experienced rider. So y'all bear with us because I think we're bringing out some great things and some great ideas and tools that you guys can use as well as you're getting ready for your ride coming up. So, female, by herself on the road. She has a pit crew, but also, do you believe in things like ESP, wheel and tire package? Do you bring emergency roadside equipment with you? And if you do, let's expand and let's talk about that a little bit.
So I have all my toolkit. I actually, because I was going to be out here for 5 weeks, I wanted to update my toolkit and make sure I was prepared. So I just recently did that, and I actually went through this on Facebook too. So I have no problem with asking what y'all got, what I need, going through everything. And actually, before I was just going through all my stuff, found out that my what was it? My battery pack, my jump box.
Jump
It,
box, yeah,
it was my
booster,
jump box
power
had
booster, yeah.
exploded. So I had to get a new one of those. I had I have a air pump. I have that.
Yeah, tire inflator, yeah.
I have a gas can in case
Okay.
I don't run, in case I
I,
don't
I,
get
I'm, I'm,
gas.
I'm telling you now, and we're gonna talk about this later. I'm not tolerating that no more. We gonna bring gas cans on those big motor Harleys when we going across from the gauntlet. We're gonna talk. I'm leading. I'm sorry, I
I
ain't mean
got
to
an
jump
app.
that.
I got an app, so we can talk about that.
Yeah, we
I
gonna
can help
yeah we'll
somebody
talk
with
about
that
that
too.
too. Okay, we gonna get to the gas segment. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so I as far as all my tools and all that, I have my tools and all the good stuff as far as making sure that I'm prepared in case something does have. I have the ESP plan with Harley, the extended. I have the tire and wheel package. I have all
Right.
the extra stuff. I have the towing. I have towing with my insurance. So I have different multiple towing packages, FYI. So
Nice. Smart.
one,
Smart.
if one doesn't work, and I don't have AAA, I'm gonna tell you that now. I don't have AAA because I've done watched and seen too many horror stories with them. Not saying it doesn't work all the time or it does work, but I've seen too many horror stories and been part of that situation that it didn't work here, and then we end up doing that. So I've actually been caught up once and not been able to use that, but used it on my actual motorcycle insurance towing
Okay.
pack. So and that worked out for me. So one way or another, my bike's getting towed.
My
Or
suggestion is have a towing package. Have
I do
one. And a lot of
absolutely.
times you can get some things, some towing. I think for the hog membership, they have
Yes,
certain things they do. AAA, of course. Good was it Good Son? Good Son is a towing package as well, and Allstate also has towing. So it's a lot of different components of it. My thing is I ain't endorsing nobody, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna endorse this. You better have one, if not multiple ones.
multiple. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely.
I'm sorry. What was the thought you were finishing?
No, that I just have multiple.
Okay.
Because I
Okay.
know that it's worked out that way. One didn't work out. One told me they couldn't use this company, towing company couldn't didn't wasn't actually registered for this or whatever. It was actually in Vegas is where I was. So I ended up using my other AAA wasn't registered with that towing company, and I ended up using my other one. So I mean, it worked. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Well, those are things to know because I've actually heard some horror stories where the recovery company wasn't really properly notified, and then they came out and they wasn't prepared to tow a bike.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prepared to tow a car. That's an issue, especially if you're out in the desert or you're out in a area where there's sparse cities. There's a big distance between cities and stuff like that. That's a big deal. You might be out there a long time,
Yes.
learning a hard lesson. So those are things as well, and those are questions that you gotta ask when you're talking about these things and you're purchasing these plans, because everybody's willing to sell you something. I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
Everybody's willing to sell something. So, okay, so tools, ESP, wheel and tire package, busted up power booster.
Yep.
Your power, how did that thing explode on you? What happened?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you. I don't know, but I got on my bike to clean my bag out, and I don't know if it was because it was. I go from cold to hot, cold to hot. You know, who knows?
Yeah,
One minute
was
I'm
it
in
kind
the
of old?
freezer, one minute then
Yeah,
I'm burning
yeah.
hot. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. So hey, note to self: pull those power boosters out, pull those jump boxes out regularly,
Yeah.
because you don't want to think you got something that you don't. I also with mine is I rip that stuff out before I take off, and I'll test it just to make sure that it's good to go. If it's not, then obviously
Yeah.
I'm gonna save myself some headache on the road. If it is, then I'll throw it back in and we keep pushing. But I would also suggest if those things, if you have them, most of them come in there in a little zip, case or snap down case. Keep them clean of debris, liquids, and all kind of other stuff that can corrode them and those type of things. Because as we're putting things in, we're taking things out. Just like you said, weather could play a big part in that stuff because it's all electrical stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Charging them up and all
for
that
sure.
stuff.
Definitely, definitely. Don't wait until you get on the trip and figure out you didn't charge that thing up.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, so tire inflator kits, we got those things. Tire repair kit, do you keep that on there?
Oh yeah, I know, and I know how to use it.
That part, really?
I know how to use it.
Okay. Gangsters. Hey man, these females ain't playing no game. They ain't playing no games.
Hey,
And
I
for the-
ran over a deer before. I know
Oh.
how. I done ran over a deer. I know how to use it.
Hey, so I'm gonna put it out there for everybody. Don't run over no deers.
Right. Don't
That
do
ain't a
that.
good thing. Yeah, that's not a good thing at all. So, let's talk. Let's. Well, I'm gonna leave that for last. I always like to leave the money for last. So we're gonna talk gas cans.
Yes.
It's obvious now you believe in bringing gas cans on your bike.
So I'm gonna tell you, and this started years ago. I had a Honda Shadow, and I only got about 120 miles, 125 miles to a tank when I first did my cross country, and boy, we were
Yikes!
stopping every time.
Yikes!
Oh, right. But I was determined. I was going cross country. I didn't care. As
Right.
long as they made that bike, everybody was like, that bike wasn't made to go cross country. Well, they made it for me to ride it, so I'm making it. It went.
There it is. We're gonna make it cross country. Yeah.
Hey, it went. It went multiple times, and they used to laugh at me, but it came across, and I said, well, I keep up. Just when you start going up a hill, I would bog down a little bit,
Right.
I
Right.
cranked up eventually. But I ran out of gas once and in New Mexico. And then I started learning about all the gas, and you'd hear my reserve tank. You'd hear it if you was behind me, and reserve would cut on, and I'd have to reach down there and try to turn the reserve on.
Right.
And at that time I couldn't figure out how to do that, cut the reserve on without pulling over. But then I realized how to figure all that out. But
So do you keep a gallon can or a
it's a
liter
little
bottle
bitty.
or
It's like I want to say
it's
it's
a
maybe
blotter?
a liter, like a liter can or
Right.
something.
Right. Mhm.
And but I fill it up when I didn't fill it up. I normally don't fill it up on the East Coast until I start to hit Texas or somewhere, because most of the gas
You
cans,
want to be able to get the gas quickly. Yeah.
yeah. And then it's got gas in it now, of course, but I can use it whenever. So I kind of used to where the gas stations get kind of scarce at now
Right.
that I've done it so much. But if I wasn't sure, I would just fill it up at the beginning of a trip and then just carry it until I get to the end of the trip and then pour it back in my tank. pour it out and pour it in my bike. But yeah, it's literally on Amazon. They sell different sizes. They sell a small one, and they sell like a small thin one, little short fat one. They sell different sizes.
Get
Um,
get you a gas can, man.
yeah,
I know they got the blotters too, the ones the collapsible blotters. If you don't use it, it packs well into the bike. And then they also have the cans that are shaped like the back end of the tour pack.
yeah, they do.
You know,
And I've
so
been using them for years. So I've only literally ran out of gas. Well, I ran out of gas maybe once or twice, but somebody was with me for the most part. But I've never really ran out by myself. They got so many apps now, and we can talk about that. There's an app that's good for that.
well, let's do it. Let's talk about what app do you use for gas?
So as long as you're on an interstate, not a back road or not a state route, there's an app called iExit, and
We talked about that earlier. Let's do it. Yep, I exit.
iExit
Yeah,
is
Black
good.
Moses talked about that.
Now, I've been telling everybody about it, and I think Gunner from Next Level tagged me, and it was like, yeah, listen, Lil Mama, she done told us about this. Hey,
Yeah, those gas apps. Yeah.
Um, but but I am gonna tell you something. Do not do this. Do not don't look at the app and then wait on, like, it may show like four different exits of those gas stops. Do not wait to that very last gas stop and then have a gas station at that last one and wait for that last one, because you may be stuck in that last one. Might If you're not familiar with that app, you might just say, okay, it has a gas station there, and you're not going to click on that app and see what gas station is and if it's open or closed, because I've done did it when I first started using the app and not realizing exactly how to use it, and that gas station be closed. Okay, so and here you don't have another gas station till 60 miles, or going across that 10. Sharif Show texted me and said, don't forget that gas station.
Now,
In Texas.
I'm gonna say this, man, about Reef. Reef would probably had it. If you make a gas station joke, shout out to my man Problem Child. He made a gas station joke the other day. And I'm telling you, Reef ain't got not one more second of patience for gas station. Because he's seen it, heard about it, and scratched his head and pulled his hair out over the last 2.5 weeks. So shout out to Reef, man. He's trying to put you on game with this gas station stuff, man. We can't play no games with the gas station stops, because I'm also share a quick story with you if you don't mind. Even if sometimes on your app or even on and oh, by the way, I used to swear by the Harley Davidson gas station, on the infotainment where it says, woman. Okay, that works good on the East Coast. That ain't working as good in rural Texas, or yeah, I'm gonna say rural Texas at this point. Maybe a little bit of Arizona, could be something in the mountain or the rural area of Cali. But a situation that happened to me, popped it on, because I used to swear about it, popped it on. Hey man, I think, I had about 50 miles to empty. Gas station is, 40 miles away. So I'm rolling up and saying, okay, I catch that gas station. I'm gonna catch it. I get to the gas station. I find out, oh, by the way, that gas station just closed 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Just closed. Or you get to a situation where you go maybe to the next town over, and Olel has one gas station that's off the major interstate, and you find out they ain't got no but diesel. Because they done ran out of gas. So you have to be consciously aware of that stuff. Just like you said, don't wait to the last gas station on the iExit app. When you know you're rolling through a rural state, a state that's big like Texas, or you're rolling through maybe certain portions of Nevada or Utah, those places. Don't play games with areas that you're not familiar with. If you don't know that area like the back of your hand, I would suggest, in my opinion, you probably want to just go ahead and fill up every half a tank, or at minimum have gas on your bike in a gas can. What you think? You agree with that?
When I'm doing certain states like Texas or Arizona, or like you're talking about further up north, I typically about a half a tank. I start looking and
Yeah.
I start figuring out where my next gas stop's gonna
Figure it
be.
out. Figure it
Now,
out.
yeah, because I go gas tank to gas tank, light to light. Normally when I'm whatever, and I'll do the low range. Honestly, I'll see that low range a lot too sometimes. But when it's certain places, when I come out this way, I'm not doing that low range. I know where my next gas stop gonna be, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, because it's too many, and I don't use the Harley one that's on my screen because it took me, like you said, it took me into a little city that was in a dead end. It was
Yeah.
a
And
house.
you will be
It
out
was
there.
a house and it was a dead end street and there was some kids on lawnmowers. And I'm looking like,
I've
boy,
seen
you
that
need
too.
to
I've had
fast.
it happen too. Hey, what's that movie? Wrong Turn
Right.
or The Hills Have Eyes?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You could be in a
Man.
lot of trouble.
I looked I looked at them kids. They was on some riding lawnmowers. I said, where y'all? I said, where the closest gas station is. They looked at me. They said, the next town. I had to
Ooh,
go to another state. I started to say, can I have some of y'all gas? But
yeah.
I didn't. I made it to the next town. But
I'd have been through it
I don't play with that Harley one, but
for
that's
sure.
why I exit. So
Hey, low key said wind drag may burn that 50-mile reserve gas tank down into 30. And that's facts. Because,
absolutely.
yeah, because going through, I think, did you experience a bunch of wind going across the 10 when you got, say, in Western Texas on into Cali?
I tell you what, Palm Springs is where. So K Solo came through Palm Springs the day before and hit me up to see if I was okay, if I was there yet, and I said no. But I had been going through Palm Springs, and I knew how Palm Springs, you either gonna get the sandstorms, or you either gonna get those winds.
Yeah,
But
the winds, you're going to get them all the time. Yeah.
yeah, the winds, they got those
Those
tunnel
wind,
wind
whatever
things,
damn
whatever
things
they
over. Yeah,
are.
yeah.
But it was extra hard. It was a lot. It was extra windy over there. And I tell you, it was blowing that Roadglide all over the road. And I was like, boy, and it was late too. So it was a little bit higher winds than normal. And it was kind of rough that night. So that was the reason I shut it down too after that.
I think everybody who over the last 3 weeks who would have crossed have dealt with the wind, and
Mhm.
everybody has horror stories. So for those riders that get ready to come out, so I think Fresco Bar and those guys they took off today. Tampa Red Breed did. We're gonna have some feud that's gonna be going on over the next couple weeks. Just prepare yourself for the wind. Just prepare yourself. And I don't know another way to prepare yourself, but just get ready. It's
Right. Hold
gonna be
on.
what it's gonna be. Hold
Hold
on. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's not gonna be convenient. It's not gonna be fun. Uh,
on.
just lock your mind in and understand you're gonna have to hold on to the bike, and that's the best I can tell you on it because there ain't no escaping it, none at all. So we were talking about also, again, the understanding that the reserve, when you're dealing with wind and you're dealing with elevation and you're dealing with hills and speed and those type of things, because in Western Texas the speed limit gets up to 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So and you're on a motorcycle. If the speed limit 80, we got to do 90 because we just can't be caught doing the speed limit. It just it don't register well. So if the speed was 100, we won't do 115. We just got to do dumb stuff like that. So that plays a part again. So if you're counting on the reserve can go really quick when you're
Again.
doing top speeds like that. Is that a fair comment?
That is very fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's absolutely. You gonna make that. That's gonna
yeah,
cost you some extra money. Just
for
know that.
sure, for sure. So Lil Mama, let's do this. So as we moving into our last segment, if I was a rider going across for the first time in the next few days, based off what you just saw on the 10 the last few days, what would you tell me and how would you prepare me to make that ride?
I tell you to look at where the construction is. Look at the time that you're going through those cities, the major cities.
Huge.
People don't understand that part. I knew when I was going through those cities about what time I was going to play that part.
Huge role.
I knew when I went through that construction in Texas, through that rush hour. the problem is I didn't have a problem with going through the construction during that city during that time. I had a problem as you didn't I there was an accident that shut the highway down. And
Where was that? Refresh my memory. Where was that? Is
so
that
it
in
was in was it Baymont?
Baytown? Baytown. Was it
Baytown, Baytown.
right outside of Houston? Yeah.
So there was construction there, and it took the highway down to one lane, and there was accidents right there.
Yikes.
So I was okay with the construction, but when it caused the accident right there, I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna shut down, make tomorrow a little bit longer.
I
You know?
remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
And I
Because I
said,
think because your plan, you were going to go on the other side of San Antonio, wasn't you?
yes, I
Yeah.
was. So, and so it just didn't work out that way. And again, what I tell you, I have a plan, but God has another plan. So,
Facts.
and so I go with, I don't get upset when my way don't work. Sometimes we have a timeline, and our timeline don't always, work the way it's supposed to work, and that's some things people can't handle when they're on the road. And I tell people, don't push it to that timeline that you set. There's a reason why you're not making that timeline. Always give yourself more time. Sometimes you'll be above schedule. You know what I'm saying? It's not always against schedule. Sometimes you'll be making good time. Be like, all right, hey, we're doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, uh, but when you're behind schedule, don't push it. Don't push it. Don't listen to your body. Know that there's a reason you're being pushed back. Just enjoy the ride. Enjoy what you're out there to do, because the goal is always to be able to do that next ride.
To be able to bring your behind home with 10 fingers and 10 toes.
That
Definitely.
right there.
That's funny you said that because, on the time thing, being on the schedule, giving yourself more time. I see some people, they pre-book hotel rooms. I'm not a fan of that
I don't.
because now you're going to put yourself under pressure. You're scared you're going to lose your money because the hotel's going to debit your card. I'm not a big fan of that because just like you said, there are some major cities on the way going across the 10, whether it's just Jacksonville or Mobile or New Orleans or Houston or Phoenix or El Paso. There's a bunch of major towns and a lot of things are going on that 10. So if you lock yourself in, sometimes you're gonna a 10-hour ride is gonna, oh no, a 5-hour ride is gonna take you 10.
I'll tell you what, I see people planning out their gas stops, their hotels, and all that. I said, what if you miss that gas stop? Or what if you need gas or something's going on and you speed up a little bit more and you're against wind and your bike is drinking a little bit more gas and you need gas before that gas stop. Like, I know people that literally plan out every single gas stop, plan out
I
their whole.
don't.
I don't
I
plan none
don't.
of that.
I don't
I'm gonna
plan
tell you
nothing.
what. When I need gas, I'm gonna stop.
Get
When I need to
gas.
use the
Yeah.
restroom or want something to
Yeah.
eat, and I don't eat on the road either. A lot of people, I'm not one of those. I tell everybody, I snack a little bit here and there or
Right.
whatever, but I'm not a eater on the road either. So don't think you're gonna eat with me. I'm gone. Look, let's go. We gonna eat at night. When
Yeah.
I bed down, we might get
Yeah.
some
Go
food.
ahead and get some to eat. Yeah.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
it's gonna be whether or not am I too tired to eat? What's more important, food or sleep? You know what I'm saying?
I made that decision. I made a business decision. I mean, you get in so late, get off the ground, and you're
Yeah,
like, you can't find what you want. You're like, man, forget it. I'm just gonna go to bed.
yeah. Which
I deal
one's
with it in
more
the morning.
important?
Yeah.
So I don't do that on the road. I'm quick to book a hotel on the road. And again, some people say, oh, you stop at the hotel though, it costs so much. Let me tell y'all something. There's apps for that. Y'all got cheap. You can get a cheap hotel, and some people can be bougie. I don't care. You can be bougie and
Hmm.
still get a cheap hotel. You
I
ain't
know
got
that's right.
$4 hotel. There's all kinds of apps. And hey, I got 100 apps. Which apps you want to look for? Hey, which apps you want? You want weather apps? You want hotel apps? You want riding apps? You want navigation apps? Which ones you want to use? Because I got them.
Hey, trust and believe, she does have an app for that. She got apps,
App for app.
apps on apps. So let's do this. Let's do this final question, if you don't mind. Uh, Money. How
Oh,
much Lucci does Sarge need to And I asked everybody this, and I know you're like, God damn it. How much money should I look to bring to go across the 10? And just how much? How much you think I'm gonna need?
Well, are you going across and coming straight back? You doing
Yeah, I
what?
mean, yeah, because we're not gonna. Yeah, we're gonna say
My
coming across and going back.
to go. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every cross country, I always have a couple thousand. Every cross country, and that's not including additional credit card,
Mercy credit card, right, right.
additional credit card for any additional breakdown, something emergency goes on the road. Now, um, I just talked to somebody the other day. They said, "How'd you figure out?" They called somebody I was sitting with, talking about how much gas I need to make a $2,000 trip, and I'm gonna tell you how I make mine. And how much does it cost? How many miles are you going? And they said the trip is 2,000 miles. I said, okay. I said, how many miles does your tank take? Per tank. And I said, take that many miles. And then how much does it cost to fill your tank? I said, take that number, multiply it, and then that's how much gas you're gonna take. Round it up. You see what I'm
It's
saying?
it's a very easy equation.
I
Matter of
said, well,
fact,
then on top of that, add some little extra, add your extra money for hotel if you're gonna stay at a hotel, and add you some food money. I'd rather have more money than not enough.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And then let's not talk about you gonna go in the gas station and grab you some snacks. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna grab this, grab that. You're gonna grab something. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna grab something somewhere along the line. I don't like I don't like sitting around and having to be on a budget when I'm on the road like that. And that's just me. Don't we all on the budget? Don't get me
Right.
wrong. But I don't want to have to be like, I can't go grab something good to eat. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go get something good to eat at the end of the night, I want to go sit down at a restaurant and get something good. If I got time, ain't ate all day.
For
You know what
sure.
I'm saying? We've been on
Yeah,
the
for
road.
sure.
So
Yeah. Well, we've said this, and shout out to Carmel. She was on yesterday. Carmel said $2,500. I told Carmel she was on the bougie plan. I don't think it takes $2,500 unless you're enjoying yourself. I personally think on the cheap end, $1,500. I think on the bougie end, it could be up to $2,500. But that does not get you out of emergencies. You got to have an emergency credit card or an emergency account for things that happens wrong. I'm saying if everything is routine and you're going straight out and straight back and you're not, pulling over to different places and enjoying the sights and sound
yeah,
and going to Disney and now if you're doing all that stuff, just go ahead and click it up. But I think for the most part, most riders are going to be pretty decent with that amount of money. I
yeah.
think, yeah. Would
15.
you
I
agree on
said
that?
15 to 2,000.
Yeah, yeah,
15 to 2,000 every cross country.
yeah.
And it depends, but people, yeah, and that's not being on the bougie side for
Yeah,
real.
yeah. I know Nomad. Shout out to Nomad. I guarantee you, Nomad could go across the country on $300 because he stay at every park bench he can find. So Nomad get it in. He do his thing, man. So hey, but it's been so much fun. I can't hold you here forever. I know you got things to do. So I'm gonna do this real quick. Hey, normally I give people a round of applause, but you get a Don DeMarco. That's what it is for doing your thing. So, hey, Lil Mama, she's 200. What did I say? You were 224.
224.
224 on the dial, man. Successful, completed rides. She's been doing this thing since Christ was a child. She's good at it, man. And I appreciate you for coming on and caring enough to share your experience on how to get across the country safely, efficiently. So with that being said, Lil Mama, any last words for us before we let you get about your day goofing off and having fun with Highway Smiley, my dog?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see Smiley next.
I can't
Oh,
stand
you
you.
guys be safe. Just be safe and always know that when you guys out here doing whatever you do, just know that there's always another ride. Be safe and make sure that the goal is to ride again. That's it.
For sure. Hey, so I think with that being said, man, she put it on us. So let's do this. So, Lil Mama, the ride ain't over until you make it home safe. So we're going to keep praying for you. We're going to keep cheering for you. We're going to keep supporting you. It ain't over till you get to your front door. Am I correct?
That part right there.
With that being said, we're going to say, Lil Mama, keep it motorcycling and have fun on the best coast, which is the West Coast. You dig?
Hey,
All right. See ya. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye, y'all.
So yeah, there you have it, man. Another successful I-10 to the end ride, man. Happy, man. I'm seeing people enjoy this thing. People are learning how to do this thing the proper way. They're learning how to do it the efficient way through the Each One Teach One program. So if you guys can do me a favor, man, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you can go over to the YouTube channel right now and go ahead and hit a subscribe to the channel. Let's continue to grow the channel. Let's keep putting the channel in a position where as many people as humanly possible can see, can view, can learn from the channel, man. This is how we do what we do, and this is how we do it at a great level, by sharing what we've learned with each other. That's what makes this thing very powerful for us. Let's pray for the guys that we have that are heading down the road, Fresca Bar, Coach, and Flip Mode. They're out there. They're on the panhandle getting it in. Let's pray for my man, my brother from K9. Dang it. His name escapes me right now. My brother from K9. Problem child, as he's leaving the West Coast, heading back home to Virginia. Let's keep him in our prayers. We got some riders that are in queue that are getting ready to take off, man. Let's keep cheering and supporting these guys and letting these guys know that we care. And let's just keep doing what we're doing. And oh, by the way, news alert, and I should be posting this on the Facebook page here anytime now. For those who are in the local area that can get down to Jacksonville, Florida, on the 8th of June, we're going to be having the 200th patch ceremony. It'll be a nice small ceremony to commemorate 200 patches or 200 successful rides across the country. Now, by the time we get to June 8th, we're going to be well ahead of that. But we had to do it for timing purposes, and we had to get our friends over at Atomac Harley Davidson involved and be able to schedule everything that we needed to do to make sure we can do this. So it's going to be June the 8th, 2024. I believe the time is at 1:30 p.m. at Atomac Harley Davidson, Bay Meadows Boulevard, Jacksonville, Florida, that we're going to have a indoor ceremony where we're going to be talking and doing some collaborating and doing some networking, and then we're going to have a cake cutting ceremony. And thanks to you guys, man, that this program is going strong, man. I have so many words to speak about the program, and I will at a later date, and I'm going to really lay it out there to you guys. Thank you for everybody who supports the podcast. The podcast is still fairly new, but we're trying to get this podcast to the point where it is sharp as a tack. I appreciate you guys supporting the podcast. I'm going to have some other things that I'm going to work in the podcast to help those who want to support the podcast. Because I'm going to be honest with you, man, the podcast is not cheap. It's not free. It's not cheap. It's a labor of love. And I continue to buy better and better equipment to be able to bring a more professional platform to you guys. If you would like to support us in the podcast, I would greatly appreciate that. And I can promise you this. Your donation dollars will not go to Sarge's college fund. It don't go there. It won't go to Sarge's shoe game. It will go into the cameras, the computer, the soundboard, the microphones, all the things that we use to make this podcast the most professional podcast that we can. Because we want to bring you guys a very nice product, something that you can be proud of, something that you can want to share. I've heard people tell me, Sarge, we watch all the shows. I greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, I have to continue to bring you a quality product to keep people wanting to watch the show. So those are supporting us. I appreciate you so much. For those who would like to support us right now, we're working off Cash App. We are going to start implementing PayPal and what's the other one? The other one escapes my mind. I can't remember the other pay platform, but we'll be working on. I'm sorry, Zelle. And then now we're going to start coming up with the Patreon program. That was brought to my attention the other day. Some of the cool followers or some of our alumni say, hey, Sarge, why don't you just take a look at Patreon? So we're taking a look at Patreon and we're trying to put it together. And on the Patreon, it's going to be a membership program. And there's going to be tiers to the Patreon. Where if you join the Patreon program, we're going to have all kind of cool perks and different things to give you even more value on the Patreon. Matter of fact, the bells remind. There they go. I know the bells be on me, man. They ain't going to let me miss a beat. Shout out to the Bells, man. Y'all know how I feel about the Bells. David and Sonny, man, they're my favorite. They're the wife and I's favorite. But we're going to start making tiers to the Patreon, and we're going to get this thing together, man. So, again, we can have more and more ways that you guys can get more and more value for the ones who would love to support the platform. So, again, the the I-10 to the End 200 patch ceremony, June the 8th, 2024, 1:30 p.m. at Adamak Harley Davidson, Bay Meadows Boulevard, Jacksonville, Florida. And it's going to be posted on the Facebook page as well as the YouTube page. Love for you guys to come out and support that event. Be a great time fellowshipping and really just commemorating this journey that we've been on with the I-10 end-to-end, coast-to-coast social experiment. As well, the Titan Award. Let's take a couple seconds to talk about the Titan Award real quick. I have the link out. The link has been posted. I had the wife double check the link to make sure everything was good to go. So the link is active and is well. Now, the link is in the featured section of the Iron Elite page. The link also, I'm going to start putting it in the description of the YouTube. Every YouTube show that we have, probably for the next few weeks, we're going to start getting the link in there as well. So you have two places you can go find the link. And if you just can't find the link, just hit me up, inbox me or whatever, and I will get the link for you, and we will send it over to you. We don't want no excuses why we cannot nominate great deserving folks for this particular award. The link is very easy to fill out, very easy to follow. Maybe 15, 20 minutes in max. If you're really being thorough with it, maybe a little over 30 minutes to do it. But one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to take your text. You're not going to be able to text me, hey, Sarge, I think this person should win it because they're a good person and do great things and they get miles on miles. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I'm going to send you the link, and I'm going to need you to take the time to fill the link out. If it's important to you for that person to be nominated to become a Titan, then it's important enough to fill it out, man. Come on. We can do that for them. If they're giving us everything that you say they're giving us, you can give them that, man. I'm sure they would greatly appreciate it. I think I've covered it all. I don't think I have anything else. Again, tomorrow I will have C-Note on. Soul Brothers Nomad will be talking about his ride. It was the 10th and Tools edition of his ride. So stay tuned for that. I believe we're going to be having him on at 10 a.m. tomorrow for his post I-10 to the End interview. So should be a great time, should be a blast. So in the meantime and in between time, let's keep it motorcycling, you dig?
I was asked the other day, hey, Sarge, why you never play any fast music on your podcast? It's simple. I'm petty. Hey, Sarge, everybody don't always want to talk about motorcycling. Everybody don't want to always talk about riding. I know. That's why we have the cooking channel.
This is the Mileage Bully, the Moto Mob CEO, and your 2024 Titan. You are now listening to Sarge on the Iron Elite podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. If you're not listening to the Iron Elite podcast, what are you really doing? Because we are talking motorcycles over here.
Hey y'all, it's Snacks reminding you to tune in to the Iron Elite podcast. You dig?